Hi everyone, I'm Rob Ladd. Thanks for joining us for this edition of the Cavalier Sports Report. Last week, the ladies softball team advanced to 35-8 on the season and currently hold the top spot in the conference rankings. In about 5 hours, they'll head to Kansas City, Kansas Community College for the first game of a doubleheader. But before they do, we'll get a word in with head coach Kelly Latendresse. Coach Kelly, thanks for being with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
So last week, the doubleheader against Maple Woods gets canceled, but you still have one against Coffeyville, and I think you had to be pleased with the results last week.
Absolutely. Coffeyville was our sophomore day, so you always want to win on sophomore day. Our first game was 4-0. Second game was 8-0 in 5 innings. So that's always a good day when you can shut out the other team. We had a couple good things happen. Both pitchers threw that day, and both threw well, obviously, shutting out the other team. We also had, the girls came out and hit well, as we can see by the scores. We had a couple of them really come out and hit well. Taylor Nelson and Kim Smith both in 1 inning. They hit right after each other. Taylor hits 4th and Kim hits 5th. And Taylor hits one out towards the scoreboard over the fence, and the soccer field sits right next to our field, and Kim put one about the middle of the soccer field that day. So, yeah, it was a good day.
That's something you've gotten used to seeing from Kim, and you said that you don't necessarily stand on the third base side over there when she's up to bat. You back it up a little bit.
Right. Kim has quite a bit of power. She hits the ball very hard, probably harder than anybody I've had. And the third base coach's box is right next to third base, and I don't generally stand in there. I don't move as fast as I used to, and I usually stand out in left field, kind of on the warning track back there when Kim is up. So I'm not gonna risk it when she pulls one over there.
And it was also, really good production. Last week it was sophomore day for you against Coffeyville, so everybody kind of got in on the action. Any sophomore that's not redshirting, so going 8-0, I guess in the second game, 4-0 in the first one.
Right.
I mean, good production from all the sophomores.
Yeah, and our sophomores have. Generally when you recruit your freshmen to be better than your sophomores, so you can keep your team strong. But this year everybody's strong, and they all contribute. Most of the time on sophomore day, you try and get your sophomores in a little bit and then play your starting lineup. But really, all of our sophomores contribute, so it wasn't really any different to put them all out on the field. And they all played both games. The first game they were all out there defensively and at the plate. In the second game, one of them came off defense and she just hit for that game. So, everybody contributes on this team and everybody produces for us, and that's always a nice thing to have.
Now, over your last 6 games, you're undefeated, 6-0,
Right.
Coming off 2 losses, back-to-back losses to Cali. Those are your first in-conference losses. How do you feel like the team has responded to the adversity they faced for the first time really in conference play?
I think the girls have done a good job of kind of regrouping and refocusing. Like you said earlier, early on in the season when we go to Florida, we've been practicing inside for months, and you're in Florida and it's spring break and you're getting to play ball and you get to go outside and you're playing against good teams. And the girls really came out and played some really, really good softball down in Florida. And the challenge that we knew we were going to face was to come back here and not get complacent. Because we are a very talented team this year, and more talented than the other teams in our conference and in our region. And so it's hard not to come back and start going through the motions when you come back here. And we have to go inside some days with the weather here and then go outside the next day and play. So, we have that challenge, and we knew it was going to be there. And I think it got a little, we got a little complacent by the time we hit Cali. But the girls have done a good job of kind of regrouping, refocusing, going back to finding things to motivate them. We had to kind of refocus on our goals of, winning conference, winning regionals, and winning nationals. And I think they've done a good job of that.
On your last 6 games, you've outscored your opponents 39-1, so certainly a pretty good response there. Not good for your opposition. You kind of took a lighter side on the last week when the Maple Woods games got canceled.
Right.
You allowed your team to kind of sit back and relax a little bit heading into the final games of the season.
Right. When Maple Woods canceled Thursday morning, we gave the girls the day off because we didn't have anything until today. And then we came in Friday and we had a hitting practice, but prior to hitting practice, we had a little dodgeball game. So we played dodgeball for about an hour, just kind of, lighten things up and change it up. You got to do that at this point in the year. There's no point in having to practice every single day, doing the same thing over and over, especially when you have to be inside. If the girls don't have it by now, you know, we're not going to get anything new at this point. So came in and played around a little bit, did little sophomores and coaches versus the freshmen, and in dodgeball, and then we hit for about a half hour and went home, and the girls had the weekend off and got the opportunity to kind of catch up on school and you know, do some relaxing and those kind of things. And we'll hit today here before we leave for KCK and then go down and play and see what happens.
And I know they've had a chance to kind of relax, but you certainly want them honed in because today's game against Kansas City, Kansas has big-time implications as far as the conference goes.
Yep. If the girls can go down and win 2 at KCK, then they'll be conference champs, and they'll guarantee themselves the #1 seed for the regional tournament here starting this weekend. So, yeah, it's 2 big games versus KCK today. You know, we can't go in and overlook them because they are, you know, a decent team. They've won some games this year. They're more towards the bottom of the conference right now, but in this conference you can't overlook anybody because the minute you do that, that's when they'll sneak up and get one on you. So we're definitely going to have to be on it today. The weather's a little, you know, off. It's kind of cloudy and it's going to be wet and, you know, from the rain this weekend. So we're going to hit and get, you know, prepared here and then go over there and get 2 today.
So what happens if you win the conference outright? If you win it, the 2 games today, what would your week coming up look like? Will you have to play this weekend, or are you off then until nationals?
No, we have KCK today. We rescheduled Maple Woods for Wednesday, and then Saturday starts our first round of our region tournament, where we will play a lower seed. So being #1 seed, we will play number 16 here at home. And then it's a best 2 out of 3 series. And then winning that, we will advance to the second round of regionals, which is May 7th and 8th in Wichita. So, and then the winner of that moves on to nationals.
Well, sounds good. We'll look forward to 2 victories today and hopefully a conference championship.
That's right.
Well, thanks for being with us
Thank
this
you.
morning. We'll get you back next week so we can recap and look forward to the national tournament.
Sounds good.
Thanks again for joining us on the Cavalier Sports Report. I'm Rob Ladd. We'll see you next time.